Oh, you look so much better than me. Hey, let's go forward. We're a little dark.
Okay.
Can we do that?
I've always tried to be dark, and now you want to light me up again.
Okay, there we go.
All my life, I wanted to be darker. I did. Everybody told me how white my skin was. I finally accepted it.
I meant the lighting on the
know.
thing. Okay, well, hello and welcome to the Self-Sewn Wardrobe live broadcast. Wait a minute. These people think they're listening to Sewing Out Loud.
And we could do that, too.
What's going on?
Why don't we do, like, a multifaceted...
Hybrid. I was going to call it a hybrid.
Oh, that's
hybrid
good.
episode.
That's
Oh,
nice.
okay. So we're jumping right in. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Lauren. Hi, Bethany.
Melissa.
Hi, Melissa. Sandy. So you are also listening to the Sewing Out Loud podcast, okay? And I'm Mallory Donahue.
And I'm Zede Donahue.
And we're doing this hybrid episode. So if you have not joined the group...
Riley's here.
Yep. Oh, look, your microphone's all messed up.
Riley's here if you didn't hear me.
If you haven't joined the group yet, we're doing the Self-Sewn Wardrobe, and it's fun because there's a visual aspect to the live broadcasts, right?
Well, I don't know. Does anybody see, like, any garments on the set?
Yeah. Look at that. I thought people would be excited. Here,
Yeah.
I want people to see your face a little better. Look at yourself.
My
Hey,
mouth
Elaine.
or my face?
Your mouth.
Okay, my
too.
mouth.
Elaine and Denise and Stephanie. This is exciting that everybody's here. I didn't tell anybody Zede would be here, but yeah. And Jeree says costumes. So there are things behind
Some are
us.
costumes, yes.
Oh,
I hope the things I wear in public, like, you don't think that that's a costume.
Hey, Julie. Good morning.
Should we tell the story, though, about your wedding dress when the woman came in and said that's, yeah.
It kind of goes with the theme of today. Hey, Jane. Look, Jane's watching.
Jane, you've seen all these garments and you probably know all the history.
Jane knows what's up.
That's
yeah.
right.
Did she help, like, with any of these? She's helped me. She hasn't helped you as much.
Well, I don't know,
stuff.
but when you got married, Jane was like, will your mother be offended if I make your ring bearer pillow? And I'm like, no.
Yeah, Jane.
One less thing to make.
Jane worked for us for how? I mean, we've known her
We
for
have
a
to
long
show
time.
that on air. We'll show that on air
Absolutely.
at some time, Jane, too. It's beautiful.
Absolutely, it's gorgeous.
Hi, Lauren.
I'm glad I didn't let Mom make it. She wouldn't have made anything as pretty as Jane
No, I
did.
wouldn't
No.
have. You're right. You got that.
Hey, Kate, you said hi to Lauren already. So I think that goes along with our theme today of people coming into your space and doing stuff. So this is my wedding dress,
Yeah.
the dress here in the center, and I think I've posted some pictures. I'll post some pictures on Instagram. We have wonderful pictures actually taken by group member Stacy, right?
That's correct.
She's in the group. She was our wedding photographer. She's a very talented photographer. And my wedding...
She's our everything photographer.
Yes.
She's our life happening photographer.
She took her headshots.
Yeah.
She takes
Yeah.
pictures of Zelda.
Baby, whatever.
And my wedding dress is a blush silk satin. It's like it can look beige or pink depending.
It's like a chemise type fabric.
It's really lightweight, and it has a silk or a lace overlay. Okay, so describing that for those of you listening to this via podcast. Hey, Erica. And anyway, it's hanging up in the store. And this woman comes in.
It was hanging up in the store when this incident happened.
Yep,
yes.
it was hanging up in the store. This woman comes in.
Wasn't she a fairly regular customer? Somebody we knew anyway.
Yeah, and this whole interaction had turned into quite the cluster. Like, I'd embroidered like 6 jackets for her, and like
You'd been really nice to her. Hi,
been really
Lonnie.
nice. Hi,
Laughable Lonnie.
and she just goes, "Hey, I don't mean to offend anybody, but that's the ugliest dress I've ever seen." It's exactly
and so I laughed about it.
No, but I need to say that I'm like, that's my wedding dress that I designed and my mom made. But I didn't say that. I was just like, oh, yeah. Like, I just, words taken away from me, I was speechless. I was like, this is how, I mean,
Hey, Deb.
how dumb do you have to be? You're in the sewing store. Someone
Somebody
here
there
made
probably
it,
made
you
it.
know?
Right,
like, I mean,
right,
even if you
right,
thought
right,
it was
right.
ugly,
That's
you can
true.
think it's
That's
ugly.
very true.
I just thought if I had gone into a sewing store and seen something,
Right.
a purse, a quilt, a dress that I thought was ugly, I wouldn't have been like, I think that's really ugly. Hey, Deb, how's it going?
Yeah, you gotta be careful. You just don't know who you might be talking about or offending.
And I guess
Wait till you get to the car and you say it to your companion that's with you.
Exactly.
Oh my God, that was the ugliest dress.
Exactly. Oh my God, did you see that? I mean,
oh my God, now where are we caught dead in that?
Mom and I
Don't even bury me in something like
are really good at talking behind your backs, okay? Just so you know, all right? All you know.
Yes, Cherise, people feel compelled. Ugly is as ugly does. There you go. So anyway, when Mallory tells me this story,
but I sold her a sewing machine.
yeah, well, I wasn't there. I wonder if she's listening. So anyway, I'm
we
not
go.
there. When Mallory tells me the story, I laugh about it for like half a day until I realize I made it. So I was laughing at myself.
Yeah. And you know what? This whole episode's supposed to be
About cotton organdy.
About cotton organdy.
And you might not think there's cotton organdy in this dress, and you don't even know if there's cotton organdy in this dress.
You don't know that.
But there is.
You don't know that.
But there
I
is.
might know that.
There is.
Okay.
And I actually used it as an interfacing.
I just moved my coffee out of the way. Who posted that picture of the coffee spilled everywhere?
Oh, yeah, on their pattern.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
That's why Mallory's getting demerits today. She has coffee in the studio.
Y'all make me get up three times a week.
Look, clear water.
Three
Clear
times
water.
a week I have
And
to do this.
in a closed container.
Okay, let's define cotton organdy, people. Since this is a little bit of a hybrid episode, I wonder how disjointed
How we can
this must feel.
paint the picture for the people who are not seeing
Yes.
the video.
Yes. Okay,
yeah.
so the cotton organdy that we sell, and this is really important, okay?
I know how. If you're familiar with Mennonites, this is what they make their
The
little
bonnets.
bonnets
Yes,
out of.
yes, the bonnets.
They're made out of cotton organdy.
Yes, if you've never felt it in person and you have seen or spoken to a Mennonite person and you can see the bonnet is like stiff, like it's got a shape.
Right.
To
like
it.
it holds its own shape. It's not like the shape of their head.
Sure,
Right.
sure. That is cotton organdy.
And you can see through it. It's not totally opaque.
Mm-hmm.
So you can read a newspaper through it.
Yeah, you could. And
Yeah.
it also is
Well, I guess you could read a book through it too. Or anything
Cherise
else.
says, okay, bonnets, I get it now, stiff. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And I want to show via this video, and I'm going to post some videos on Instagram and stuff. It's kind of, I just want to show, hey, it's crinkly. It's almost paper-like
Yeah,
in its feel.
I mean, if somebody just handed you a piece of this, I think you'd question whether it was really like, a cloth fiber or a cellulose.
When
or
I
what.
fold it up, when I cut a yard and fold it for somebody,
it's
I
like
think
a piece of paper.
they're going to think I'm sending them paper.
Yeah, don't throw the paper away.
It's not paper.
Lonnie,
don't throw it away.
Throw it away.
Yes, okay.
Guppy strainers.
Yeah, Lauren comes from a Mennonite community.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He's
So,
a non-conservative Mennonite. Okay.
yes. So
we actually had a Mennonite lady one time. Well, we had a lot of Mennonite customers.
we have a lot of Mennonite customers.
But we
yeah.
had this one customer that spent the day with us showing how she made her dresses. It was like really cool.
It
They had
was-
like one pattern. And I will not pretend to understand everything about this because
Sure.
there's certain like sex and non-conservative.
I'm sure they all
Lauren
do things
probably knows more
a
than we
little
do.
differently.
But her specific group wore this specific pattern only.
Uh-huh. And there were certain rules, like no
Right.
buttons and everything. Okay,
Right.
well, anyway, talk about a tangent. And talk about something we really
No,
don't
nothing
know
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know anything about.
There are other people
There's other experts on that
who might know
you
better.
Might refer to them.
Yes, so the cotton organdy, though, the reason we're talking about it today, it's come up a lot. People often ask about it. And how we like to introduce it to a lot of people is as Zede's favorite interfacing alternative.
And I think the reason it comes up a lot is because people ask and then we say cotton organdy.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you interface with? What do you face with? What do you stiffen with?
All that jazz.
And today, I think we can show you some examples of actually how it's been used. But
And I want to say, I mean, we sell this cotton organdy in our shop, and it is a specific quality, and I cannot speak for other cotton organdies on the market.
And besides quality, there is like stiff stiffer and stiffest.
Yes.
And this is stiffer, I believe.
Yeah,
I think this is kind of middle road.
In the middle. There are some cotton organdies you can buy to make like period clothing that can be real stiff or real soft, depending on what they want. And so you don't pre-wash this, okay?
No.
You don't pre-wash this.
One reason it's stiff is it's been pre-treated and like heated to death already.
That's right. So that's what makes it stiff, okay? You don't pre-treat it. You may sew it into your garment and launder
Yes,
as
absolutely.
you launder your garment.
Which means the washing machine, the dry cleaner, whatever.
If
the bathtub, somebody always talks about me washing things in the bathtub.
If your garment gets put in the dryer and the area that you interfaced with cotton organdy looks wrinkly,
scrunched up,
press it.
Yeah.
Press it with your iron.
That's why you like it, because if that was a paper product, and I hesitate to name like a trade name.
Sure.
But they're out there, a lot of them are fusible. And if you get that reaction from that paperish, non-woven interfacing,
it won't go back.
It won't go back. It won't iron back. In fact, sometimes it stays crinkly or sounds crinkly.
Or it'll like tear away from the seam and like crumple up in your garment.
Especially where I like to use a really short stitch, like in a collar or something, around those collar curves or a scallop or something like that. You can tend to perforate a non-woven fabric and it will pull away.
Yeah, and Amanda asked a good question. She says, is the black still on order? So it's early July right now, and the black is still on back order.
And what's going on with that is they have even gotten some in, and it's been slubby.
They didn't like it. They were like, we got an order in, and we didn't accept it. I'm like, oh, okay.
And you don't want slubby if you're using it as interfacing, because you don't want a lump or whatever.
But if you're listening to this like far in the future,
I agree, Lauren. Synthetic interfacing crinkle is so annoying.
If you're listening to this far in the future, you can go to sewhere.com/organdy and you'll see our most recent listing. So if the black is available, we'll put it up, and I'm going to make a huge deal when that's available.
There is silk organdy also, which is quite expensive. And what organdy means is the way that it's basically woven, okay? And I have a bolt of silk organdy here somewhere, and I think it's like blue, but I got it like somebody was selling it, and I don't think knew what it was. So what I would do when you're talking about black and all of this, okay, I have actually taken the white. So if you're worried, if you want to you're talking about lining with black or making sure black doesn't show or whatever, I coffee dye the white.
Yeah, and that's what Jacqueline just asked. She says, can you dye the cotton organdy?
Yeah, you can dye it black, and I don't like to dye black, because black is not stable, and I'm afraid it'll run if I put it in something that's not black. So what I like to do is go for something that would be more of a neutral or a skin tone.
A medium color.
And I've always used coffee, because I feel like coffee, see, you can't spill coffee on stuff. Coffee stains it.
Yeah,
okay?
Really nicely.
And it tends not to come out.
Right.
So coffee dye it, dry it, and then iron it, and that's pretty much sets it.
Okay, so where have we used cotton organdy? Actually, hold on. Since this is going to be a Sewing Out Loud episode, I need to say, we're going to pause for a message break.
Oh, no.
And we'll come back and talk about some specific examples of where we've used cotton organdy, okay?
Now, usually what we do is we talk to Sam at this time in private, because she edits and puts the commercial in.
And so we
can't say, like, on air
so sometimes we say like dirty.
It would be
words
totally
to her
explicit
or something like
totally.
that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
we're back.
We're back. And actually, one reason I'm talking about the cotton organdy today is, as we are selling the Sew Here knits box, we've made it available that you can add anything to the Sew Here box for free shipping.
Right.
So, Stephanie says she just ordered a yard of cotton organdy.
And cotton organdy fits great in this box.
And I just received the email. She's not lying. Stephanie Bateman via PayPal.
It's right there, you see it.
Okay, What garment do you want to talk about first, Mom?
You know,
Here, you get a garment and I'll hold it.
Let's just talk about the fact that a whole entire garment can be made out of cotton organdy.
Okay.
And
don't talk too much away from the
mic. Sorry, I have to be directed constantly. You guys, this is my prom dress, 1971.
I have to describe this. Hold on, Mom, before you get too far, okay? Lime green.
I prefer to say chartreuse.
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Chartreuse, sleeveless, cotton organdy dress.
Square neckline.
Square neckline with, like...
sort of a semi-umpire waist with a band.
And it's got an apron on it.
It's got an apron. Because in those days, you went to prom as...
Little Bo Peep.
Well, you didn't go as Gypsy Rose Lee like they do nowadays.
Yep. So yeah, this is made of cotton organdy, but it's much more flowy. So we talk about the stiffness factor.
And I know that I've washed this several times.
Yeah.
This has actually been worn as a costume.
Oh sure.
Yeah.
Oh sure.
Yeah. I didn't just keep it so I could see if I fit in it or not. It has actually been worn again and again on stage.
Well, it's a good stage dress.
It's
very vibrant.
Stage dress.
It looks great.
It's got some trim, some white trim, and the apron piece on it is actually the green organdy is embroidered with white.
This organdy is very sheer.
Okay, I'll tell you how old this is. It has a metal zipper.
A metal zipper.
Can you imagine a prom dress with a metal zipper?
Oh, look,
nowadays?
It's got a little bit of horsehair in the hem.
The horsehair is in all of the hems. You can see I haven't washed or ironed it either.
Jacqueline says Lawrence Welk. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm just one of what were those sisters? The Lennon sisters.
Yeah.
Yes.
Horsehair in both
guys,
hems.
I was fashionable. This was cute then. This was appropriate.
She's so fashionable.
I'm defending myself.
Actually, she looks really good today if you watch this live broadcast, and I look like a piece of crap. I feel like, why do you...
Did you take a bath yet?
I've bathed, yes.
I bathed.
And I was trying to give my hair some texture. That's what's going on here, just so you know. Anyway.
Well, look how long my hair is.
Yeah.
That's because I couldn't get a haircut while we were taping the leggings.
She's always got an excuse for looking like that. Okay, so that was Zede's prom dress. And we just want to say, yes, there are garments out there that are made from cotton organdy. That are a little softer.
Now,
okay.
This is funny because this is a costume.
Okay, let's describe this costume real quick. This costume was made for me by my mom when I was like 10 years old, and let's give him a chance to guess what it is from the flower here. This is a little cover for the costume that my mom made. Can anybody guess when I was 10 years old what character I might have played? We have to give them a little bit of time here. There's a flower on the dust cover, and it's a plaid white and mint green cotton organdy.
Actually, this is synthetic.
Oh, this is synthetic.
This is synthetic organdy. I found it on like Joann's, throwaway table or whatever they call it.
Perfect for a costume, though.
But what I did is the collar. It's a big, plate collar, and it's just cotton organdy. And hey, everybody, with your sergers, this is a narrow hem, and it's just made out of, a decorative thread, and I did that on the sash also. And this is actually how it's hemmed. If you see this, there's a double ruffle as the skirt. It's a drop waist. So, there's no real hem in this, because it's a sheer. All I did was put the organdy in it.
And you put a narrow hem in.
Yeah.
Now we've gotten guesses. Anne of Green Gables, Laura Ingalls. No, it's a musical. I'm holding up the flower. And okay, I'm gonna let it go for a little. Sandy hasn't guessed yet. I know there are some.
Well, the other thing is what I wanted to show is the cotton organdy is basically the lining.
The lining,
right,
yes.
Right.
So you can use this cotton organdy for a lot of different things, not just in interfacing. Okay, Sandy doesn't get it.
So the entire dress is lined with cotton organdy.
Oh, So Mom put an invisible zipper. That's not historically accurate, but that's okay.
It certainly is not. And it was a high school play, so.
I was Amaryllis in The Music Man. Yep, Sandy's got Music Man. Yes.
She was Amaryllis.
I was Amaryllis.
And actually, her future husband was in the audience, and we did not know it.
Yes, that's right. So my husband's 8 years older than me, And
like 8 years. He is 8
he's
years.
okay. He's 8 years older than me, and he was like dating an actual high school student when he was in high school. She was in the play too.
Because he was
And
17 and Mallory was 10. So.
Yeah. So, oh, everything okay?
Yeah, it was set out of my ring.
Okay.
Okay, you're not going to be able to see the organdy in this one.
All right. The next dress, okay, is the dress that Mom wore to my sister's wedding.
That's the bag.
Oh, and it's 15 years ago, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So 2002. This is made of silk dupioni. It's a mint green. And hold this up. Look, they can see. Look at the frame. Yeah, this is a nice.
So I drafted this dress. I wanted, I didn't want the mother of the bride thing. And so this whole cummerbund, okay, what I did was I machine embroidered the cummerbund that's set in here, and it's backed with cotton organdy when I embroidered it. And then there's another layer under that when I went back, and the beads are applied to the embroidery and to the waistband. And I think
by hand.
By hand, right. So, I guess, see, this is what happens when you
But it's all enclosed.
This is what happens when you enclose everything.
But let's talk about this for a second.
Yeah.
Here, you try to get that, and I'll just talk for a second because, here, I'm going to hold this up.
Oh, I actually can get to it.
Can you get to it?
I did get to it.
Zede was working with silk dupioni,
Right.
which it's almost papery and feeling.
It's a little
very
crisp.
It's just very thin, okay? So then you're setting that under a machine embroidery, an embroidery machine that'll go 1,500 stitches per minute. You want the embroidery that you chose to be well supported, and some of it is sort of dense. So you use the cotton organdy like an interfacing in addition to your embroidery stabilizer.
And like a, what do I want to say when... like a stabilizer. Right. So and I did use other stabilizer too. I didn't just use the organdy. So I had a layer of dupioni, a layer of organdy, and then there was stabilizer under that.
And then Lauren, we'll just clarify this right now. So then you put another layer underneath to do the hand beading.
I did.
And now the dress is, Lauren, it is lined.
Then did you line it? Well, there is
the dress
a lining.
is lined.
So there is a lining that is loose from it also.
Yes.
Okay,
so good question,
so no
Lauren.
slip, just a lining.
And so what's nice about the cotton organdy is it's something that can be layered.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, my mistake with this dress, and I really like this dress, is I wound up using a synthetic lining.
I was wondering about that.
It's it's what they call the China silk,
China silk
whatever,
lining
but it's
stuff.
not really silk. It's. And I was really sorry. I lined everybody else's dress in cotton. But I was so worried about the color, and I didn't want to disrupt the color.
That you used
this
that.
fits fine. It's fine. Except this was a July wedding, and she insisted that her, not her rehearsal, her reception be on our property outside. So I'm like sweating, and I can feel the sweat running, down this slick lining, and everybody else's was lined in cotton. And their dresses were silk, and it worked perfect.
Now, our dresses were silk, and they weren't lined in organdy. They were lined
No,
in, like,
it was
quilting
just cotton.
Right?
But if they needed any sort of reinforcement or stiffness, they had the cotton organdy in them.
We sell this cotton organdy by the yard, and if you buy a yard of this, it really goes quite far.
Right.
With the uses that we talk about. Now, before we get to another dress, Mom, I want to talk about how to use it.
Sure.
Okay, before we get too far. So, when you cut out any interfacing, let's pretend you don't have cotton organdy and you got to use something else.
Even if you have something crappy, you would cut it this way.
Whatever, okay? You want to cut out your pattern piece to be interfaced and your interfacing, or cotton organdy, at the same time.
Yes.
Cut them out as one.
Because then they're one shape.
Then you can't have messed it up, right?
Right.
Okay? So you would maybe lay down all your fashion fabric.
You want me to tell you how I do a collar?
Yeah.
Because I do it even a little differently.
And this might be a little hard. Go ahead and describe it. This should be a video too.
So
but
I have two sides to my collar. Two showing sides, right?
Two fashion fabric.
An underside and an upside. Sometimes I make those two different colors, so I can't say it's the same fabric. But
two fashion,
more than likely, you have two fashion sides of your fabric, the upside and the underside, right? Sometimes I won't cut out my organdy in that shape. I will make it larger than the shape and lay those. So I lay those two pieces down. They are right sides together, and I lay them down on my organdy, right? And then I'm stitching from the top where I can see very well, you know, my fashion fabric that I'm stitching from the wrong side. I see the wrong side of it, and I make my stitching line. And my organdy is not really cut out. It might just be like a big hunk, like a kidney shape or something like that for a collar. And then I trim it later. Why? Because then, well, first of all, I don't have to pin a whole lot of stuff.
That's right.
And I don't have to worry about it all these layers shifting.
Okay, sewing something and then cutting later is...
I know, Sandy, I feel brilliant when I do it.
And Sharon says you're so smart, too. Sewing something like a shape like that, an odd shape, and then cutting after the fact, I think is a big thing that can make you look real good. Like a scalloped hemline. Okay, never ever cut the scallops out. Don't cut the scallops.
Mark them on the fabric. And then sew on that line and then cut it out. Because if you're trying to match these two scalloped pieces together, man, you're
no, let me tell you what happens.
You're fighting a war.
Because I did this, like, you know, more recently than you have, okay?
Oh, yeah. It's probably been 30, 40 years.
No, I would say I've tried to do this. It's like 5 years ago.
I need a sewing genius shirt.
Sewing genius shirt?
Yeah,
okay.
Everybody's calling me brilliant and genius.
I tried to make a circle skirt, and I wanted the waistband to be scalloped on top, and I was like, oh, let's cut these scallops out, right? And I made it out of this linen, and it was sort of big fibers, loosely woven.
Right, they're all different.
So every like left side of the scallop was, you know, how you go around that, and it just got so distorted. And then I screwed.
Everybody's going to be sewing scallops.
Everybody's going to be so great. So then I went back and I cut out a big rectangle. I drew scallops on. Right. I stitched on the scallops and then clipped them, and it was so different.
So the other time, besides being an odd shape or a place you have to turn or something where you want to use this big pieces where you've drawn the shape on or whatever, is if you maybe don't have a good seam allowance. So say I have a piece of fabric that I fussy cut somehow, and when I fussy cut it, I couldn't get a good seam allowance around it, right? So I want to back it or face it or something, sew it together somehow, right? Because I can put that on a bigger piece of fabric and then stitch around it on my fashion fabric, and I don't have to worry about meeting these little tiny seams together.
And I don't want to get into this too much because I think it's another podcast. But seam allowance and stability of your fabric.
Oh no, we're going there later
on another podcast.
Yeah.
These are so important, and your seam allowance isn't just there for fitting.
No.
Okay? That's not what it's there for. It's there for preserving your fabric's integrity. Okay, I'll shut up about that.
Somebody's asking what fussy cut is. And it's a term used when you try and cut your fabric in a specific way or place to show the pattern off. So there might be a flower, say, on your fabric, and maybe you want to cut that flower out.
Or an octopus.
And maybe you want to make sure that flower doesn't land like on the apex points, so you don't have like two mountaintops with a flower here and a flower there. So fussy cutting means you're paying attention to the design on the fabric and how you're cutting it. You'll hear this used a lot in quilting when they fussy cut because they want to get like the same little emblem or something on a block.
Oh, they like want to center the flower, the octopus, or the whatever.
I hope that helps.
Jennifer says, I hate fussy cutting, but I keep choosing projects that require it.
Jennifer, you need to
Jennifer,
change. You need to change or change your attitude. One or the other.
Fussy cutting and garment sewing can be like, oh, I want the dark, this is me.
Right.
I want the dark stripe at my waist, and I want the lighter stripes at my bust.
Absolutely.
That could be fussy cutting too.
Right.
And that, I just don't really have a very defined waist, and that's a way that I can get a little shaping, and that's what I like to look like,
Right.
you know.
Or I want the heavy part of the floral pattern to be down towards my hem when it's really not a border print but just different.
Or okay, so someone just posted they have this big border print. They said I want to make a circle skirt, but I want the border to be on the hem, and of course a circle won't do that. And so she was like, oh, I'm going to panel out my circle skirt. She's gonna make a gourd skirt basically. Right. And that's fussy cutting.
That's fussy cutting.
Now we're getting into fussy cutting.
Yeah, now we're going all over the place. I guess that's another thing about terminology. And I'm taking this from science because basically I was a scientist, okay?
Mom's a scientist.
All my education was in science. I used to do developmental research for clinical chemistry.
And now you do developmental research for SewHere.com.
Right, that's what I do. But language is very important. Like she said circle skirt, and somebody said you can't do that, and then she said, well, I just want to make it full. But when you say circle skirt, you're saying a specific thing.
And I thought the conversation around that
the conversation worked.
Was really good.
Right, they clarified both of them.
Well, and part of me, I was like, okay, wait, if you make a skirt that's made up of gores, however many gores.
That's a gourd skirt.
Okay, but then it is a circle? Is it still a circle skirt?
Well, okay, no, it's never geometrically, right, it's never a true circle because a circle has an infinite number of points on its diameter.
But you could cut it like that.
No, you couldn't. Because you could always cut another one, and you could always cut another one, and you could always cut another one. Do you see what I'm saying? Theoretically.
But then you're saying, okay, but what if your circle skirt has a back seam? What's the difference between just having like one back seam versus being like...
No, you got to talk about the gores.
I know.
Is anybody out there? Is anybody out there?
You draft
a mathematician? Did you ever take geometry?
Listen, yes, I did. Okay. My geometry teacher from high school is in this group.
Okay.
She can vouch
Where
for
is
me.
She? Speak up.
Linda Shoemate, you are in here.
It's like, because it's the same theory as I can never get to you because I can always divide the distance in half.
That's okay. Then there's never a circle skirt. Then.
Well.
Okay.
I guess the thing is we're drawing a continuous circle when we make a circle
Cherie says cutting a pizza.
Right, cutting a pizza. Right. But that's not how it's pieced together. Okay, you're cutting a circle. So if you're cutting a gore, you're not making a circle.
But what if it's got the arc that is appropriate to create the circle?
You have to have an arc on the edge of the fabric.
Yeah, there would be two arcs.
She gonna arc it?
Yes. She was like, I'm gonna draft my circle skirt pattern. So I imagine she gets like a quarter of a circle, and then she was going to like divide that up in a way that accommodated the print and cut out like.
But you still got a gourd skirt.
Yeah, I know they're gores, but I think that they can
circle has no beginning or end. I love you, Mary.
Okay, fine, Mary. Then if you put a back zipper in your circle skirt, it's not a circle skirt.
You have to put a zipper in sometimes to get in.
Okay, but I think one cut would be the same thing. See, it's a pieced circle. See, I feel like if you have one cut, you could have 16 cuts.
Okay, if she has a border that is straight.
She was going to curve it, though. I know what you're saying. It wasn't going to be straight.
But she can't curve the border because it was printed on there straight. She can curve the bottom, but she can't curve the top.
You didn't see the fabric.
I did too. I saw the post.
She was the top. She wasn't including the border at the top. She was just going to make a waistband out of that top border.
There was a border on the bottom that was thicker and a border at the top that was thinner.
See, I think she was going to curve the bottom.
I know she was, but she cannot curve. She cannot curve the top of the bottom print.
No, that's true.
Riley, I love you. See, that's why we're getting married.
That's totally true. Her border will not look like a circle. I agree.
That's right.
She would have to get some specially printed fabric.
But what I'm saying is, when you make a circle skirt, you're making a circle.
You can make the curves make a perfect circle. Of course, you can. You can.
Yes, but you cannot make the top of the border a perfect circle.
You're correct. You're correct. No,
yes.
I wasn't.
No, you can make you can piece anything together and cut it in a circle.
No, I wasn't saying that all of a sudden the print is going to magically like curve itself. No, I wasn't saying that. that. Okay, anyway. Okay. But yeah, Mary, if she laid out, okay, what? This is hilarious.
It's a gourd skirt. It's a gourd skirt.
It's a gourd circle skirt.
Everybody, it's a gourd skirt. Look, here's the dinging of the bell.
Somebody said, is anybody humming the Rocky theme? Hey, no, somebody's going to comment on this and be like, Mallory, stop being so mean to your mom. And then someone else.
No, she is mean to me, everybody.
Bull. You know what? Okay. Because then somebody's going to comment and be like, Zede, stop talking. Let Mallory talk.
I was mean as a mother, and I got 3 wonderful children out of it. So what I'm saying is, when you're a mean mother, it works.
Apple, tree, you know the saying, right?
The fruit in the tree.
Okay, so this is cotton organdy. Oh, what about that? Here. Like, Mom,
what that was,
like, roll this out.
What that was supposed to be about. What that was supposed to be about.
Look at how sheer the
was language, not math.
Math is its own, it's the universal language, right?
For those of you who aren't on video, now we just spread the cotton organdy across our faces, and yes, you can see through it.
All right, well, I've got a lot of this to cut out, because a lot of you have been ordering it. Oh, look, Sandy found, like, 2 ladies wrestling emoji. It happens all the time.
I think I could win right now, because she's, like, 7 months pregnant.
Sam sees us argue, and I can see the look on Sam's face when we start to get into an argument, and she's like, engaged, and then she's just like,
she's just happy we're not asking her to take sides.
She just sits back.
She's just happy we're not asking her to take sides.
Shuts her mouth. She's like, I'll just let them work it out, So if you've ever, there are a lot of people here who like don't talk to their mom as much as I see you.
Yeah, there are some lucky mothers in the world.
Burn. Oh, burn. Okay, you gonna show Hillary's wedding dress?
This is the top of Hillary's wedding ensemble. It went like this. It was 2 pieces.
Okay, let me talk. Janelle says our box is still available. Yes, there are a few boxes still left. As far as I know. There have been a lot of orders coming in. Okay, let me describe this real quick for podcasty people. This is a silk corset, boned top. It's kind of like a corset top.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not pure white. Silk is never pure white. It's a natural fiber, so it can't be bleached pure white. It is embroidered with calla lilies in a variegated thread, actually. Oh gosh, getting a close-up of this will just be wonderful. And it's beaded with Swarovski crystals. Okay?
And it's got boning.
It's got boning, so it kind of stands up on its own. And the inside, since we're talking about cotton organdy.
It's actually, it's lined with a cotton damask. There's actually cotton organdy between the silk and the damask, but here's a little thing I wanted to show, and I don't know if people can see this on the video.
I'll post some pictures.
But inside of this, there's a message from her parents, and the date and everything, and I did it on cotton organdy in order not to add weight.
Bulk.
Or bulk. So the message is embroidered on an oval piece of cotton organdy and then stitched to the inside of the dress. And if anyone does this, you really do need to let the bride see it like a day or 2 before the wedding. Don't make it it can be a surprise, but not a surprise the morning she's putting it on. Because I used to put messages in my children's clothing, and one time I couldn't be in a performance Hillary had, and I put a message in that she had not seen, and she cried and cried and cried, and they had to calm her down before she went on for a performance. So don't make it a total
Hillary's
surprise.
in this group. She's a big crier too.
Yeah, she cries good.
She cries. Yeah. If there's an opportunity, she's a crier.
So
love her to death. But yeah, good. So let's read the message.
I don't even know what it says. I can't read it anymore.
I'll read it.
It's in really light.
6 July 2002, and so that's, her 15th anniversary just happened. May the joy you experience today be as wonderful as the joy you have given us. We hope this joy to be everlasting. Dad and Roberta, Jerry and Mom. So Hillary, she's got 2 sets of parents.
Right. So basically, her stepmother and I got together and, authored that together.
this is giving him a little better look.
Oh, is it? Yeah, you can see the texture.
I think I'll really be able to take some good pictures of this. Actually, blogging about this, I don't know. It could be. God, how long would this blog post be? Okay, right? You put a lot of work into that dress. Okay,
no.
So
I think she should wear it again, like go clubbing with it and wear it with jeans or something.
Yeah. Oh, you can only spill vodka on it, right?
Yeah, actually, there's been a lot of vodka on it.
So if you, I hope that this video serves as a little explanation of what the heck cotton organdy is, so that we can point people to it, and we'll make a shorter one too, as well. So the main things are, it's Zede's favorite interfacing alternative. We don't like to use the paper interfacing. We like it because it's an actual fabric. You don't have to pre-treat it.
Right.
You cut it out at the same time as your other pattern pieces.
Unless you want it to be bigger.
Or
and
you
then
can
sew it first.
Yeah, you can place a hunk of it underneath your fashion fabrics and sew.
You know, her Flower Girls dress had a big scalloped hem.
Oh, it did.
I designed all the dresses in the wedding. Wish I had that now.
Okay. Well, we thank you so much for listening. You can get a hold of us on Instagram, Zede's Sewing Studio, the self-sewn wardrobe, all that jazz. And it was fabulous talking to you today. I hope you get something sewn today.
And so long and so happy.
All right, this is different. Normally I just have to press the unrecord button. But
Right.
Now I got it. Look, Mom, you can see I have to hop around and wave to the people. They're still seeing you.
Yeah, people